Yo guys, what is good? It's your boy Jelmong here, back again with another video, and today we're going over the Sabrina 2s. Alright, so in the last video I did an unboxing. Of course, as you know, the Sabrina 2s were one of my latest pickups. Now I actually took these out of the box and I've worn them to play ball in, so we can put the box aside. But actually before that, I wanted to talk about how nice this box is. As you guys see, it literally says Sabrina 2, and then on the top of the box we see here the Sabrina logo with her autograph, of course. Now, one thing to know is that Sabrina 2s are a women's exclusive sneaker. So with that being said, I got an 11.5, which translates over into a 10 in men's.
Alright y'all, so today we are busting out the Sabrina ones to play ball in. These feel pretty good so far. Yeah, I haven't played anything yet, but I'm about to hit the court. So let's go.
That being said, let's take the sneakers out. You guys see it right here. And I actually played ball in these yesterday for the first time. I whipped these out on the court and these felt amazing, guys. Now, originally I was going to wait before I did the review to play ball in them, but you know, I wanted to honestly give you guys my thoughts about how they feel like on the court, given that they are a performance styled basketball sneaker. So now that I've played a couple of games in these, I can give my honest thoughts on the Sabrina 2s, and for the most part it is positive. I love these shoes a lot. Now, the Sabrina 2s released a couple of weeks back, and before that I saw these on Sneaker News. They made a post about them and I thought these were literally one of the nicest basketball sneakers that I've ever seen. Nowadays I'm not so much into basketball sneakers as I used to be, but when I was in high school I used to love just looking at the different basketball sneakers and the different colorways out there, you know, because as a high school student my parents didn't want to spend like 150 bucks on new basketball sneakers for me. I always loved the signature lines, but obviously those are the more expensive ones, so I always had to settle for something cheaper. Now, upon release date, I wasn't sure if these were worth copying because I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest in a new pair of basketball sneakers. Now, unlike my other sneakers that I buy, these are sneakers that I can wear all the time for different occasions, but when it comes to court sneakers, you gotta wear them on the court. And I already have a pair of basketball sneakers that I do wear to play ball in. Even though they're a little cooked, I wasn't sure if, you know, I wanted to pick a new pair up. However, the more I saw these, the more I was like, these actually look beautiful. And I was like, I should not be thinking about this any longer, because the more I think about it and sleep on them, the more they're probably gonna sell out. The crazy part is that these are actually still sitting on Nike for anyone who's interested in copying them. Now, on the day I copped them, they did actually sell out on the day after. However, I believe they did restock a week later. So there's a lot more pairs of these. And I feel like if anyone is debating on whether or not they should go for the Sabrina 2s, this is definitely a solid sneaker to wear on the court. Not only does it look beautiful, the functioning of the sneaker is amazing. So as most of you guys know, the Sabrina sneaker line was based on the signature sneaker of WNBA player Sabrina Ionescu. Again, I've never really watched WNBA, so I don't know too much about her stats and performances. I have heard that she is a really good sharpshooter. And a really good thing about the Sabrina 2 specifically is that they have a really strong grip on their traction patterning. So it's a really nice sneaker to play in. You're not slipping all around the court when wearing them. First of all, I felt like these sneakers were actually really comfortable for a basketball sneaker. I feel like there was just enough cushioning in the ankle area, so it didn't feel like they were too tight that they were squeezing into my legs, but at the same time it wasn't gonna feel like I was gonna roll my ankles either. You know, a lot of high top basketball sneakers, I feel like they hug onto my ankles too much, and by the time I take them off after I'm done playing, it pains me, it aches, and I need to put on like a pair of Ultra Boosts right afterwards. These actually felt good on my feet and I like these. And as I said before, the grip on these are actually pretty good. Given that I was playing indoor ball, I didn't feel like I was slipping on the court, especially given that these courts can get dusty at times. But no, these held up pretty well. And the best part about these is that they look super nice on the court. These are really clean, they definitely stand out. It's not too flashy, but at the same time, it's a beautiful shade of blue. And who doesn't notice such a beautiful shoe like this? Alright, so now that I've talked about my thoughts about the sneaker, let me go into a brief review about what the sneaker contains. planes. Alright, so starting off with the upper, we do have a mesh construction followed by a plastic overlay that covers the shoe. Now obviously this plastic is to make the sneaker more durable, but one thing I also found is that when I was playing on the court, I found that a lot of dust was getting stuck inside the plastic in between the mesh. So that's really hard to get out, especially if you like to keep your shoes clean, and if people are stepping all over them, there's gonna be little specks of dust that are getting in the way. I think over time as I was playing, a lot got out, but I can still see some. But again, they're basketball shoes, they're meant to be worn, so it doesn't really bother me at the end of the day. And then as we transition over to the midfoot of the sneaker, we have that icy blue colorway. I think it's on a synthetic leather, but it could also be mesh. It could be a really rough mesh, I'm not really sure. However, in between the icy blue part and the translucent part, we do have a nice icy blue stitching pattern here, which is really detailed. And then in the midfoot of the sneaker, going back to the translucent part, obviously we see some elastic stretchy lace holds. Again, these are supposed to provide structure and durability to the sneaker, especially when tying your shoelaces. In front of that, we have the signature white swoosh, which is really clean, especially on an icy pair of sneakers like this. And then moving over to the back end of the midfoot, we do have this embroidery in this kind of squiggle pattern, which is super nice. The embroidery, again, made with really good details. It feels really nice. I think that all the embroideries look pretty well. There's not one that has like a loose end. Going down to the midfoot of the outer profile, we do have Sabrina Ionescu's signature written on the bottom. And then transitioning over to the inner side of the midfoot, it's pretty much the same thing, except instead of that front-facing swoosh, this time we have a swoosh that is facing downward. We also have more of that embroidery as we did on the outside, but instead of a bunch of squiggles, we also have more like jagged patternings as well. And then moving over to the tongue area, we do have a leather tongue, followed by the Sabrina logo in blue. Really nice detail of the sneaker. I believe the logo is embossed into the sneaker. Again, I can never really tell the difference between embossed and debossed, but I'm pretty sure this is embossed. And then as we transition down into the tongue, we do have more of that mesh construction, followed by football gray laces. And as we transition over to the back profile of the sneaker, we do have a subtle letter I, which obviously stands for Ionescu. I think this is really nice as well, very subtle detail. Now let's go over to the midsole area, and as you guys can see all the way down, we do have an air zoom unit right here. For the most part, this midsole is very soft, intended to make for a very comfortable experience when playing in. Yeah, I honestly had no complaints when I was playing in them, but I wonder how they're gonna feel like as I wear them more often. One thing I am curious about is that over time, if I wear them more often, are they gonna be less comfortable? Because I know that sneakers deteriorate, they wear down over time. So are they gonna be any less comfortable as I wear them and as I play ball in them more? And then going into the insole of the sneaker, I hope I don't have to take it out because it's gonna be a real pain to put it back in. But we do have I would say it's kind of like a salmon colored insole. And then as you guys can see, the S logo again for Sabrina's. Again, this is something that not everyone's gonna see on the court, but I think when I'm wearing them, I like to see that contrast of that red with the rest of the icy sneaker. And then finally moving to the outsole of the sneaker, we do have that traction patterning for the Sabrina 2s. Here we also see somewhat of a salmon colored swoosh. Obviously the color of the swoosh is supposed to complement the insole of the sneaker, but we also have several different jagged patternings to allow for a strong hold on the court. So overall, I am a big fan of the Sabrina 2s. Now over time, I just stopped playing basketball because I had less time, but I think this definitely gives me an excuse to play more often. I gotta wear these, I gotta feel them on the court. These look super nice, and I'm super excited to wear them more often. So there we have it, the Sabrina 2s in the Conductor colorway. Super clean and fire sneaker. Definitely pick them up if you get the chance. But that pretty much wraps it up for today's video, guys. Now if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you guys want to hear more from me, smash the subscribe button. Now I would like to hear from you guys. What's your favorite sneaker to play basketball in? I've only started doing research on them really recently, so if you guys have good basketball sneaker recommendations, please drop them in the comments down below. I want to hear from you guys. Maybe one day I can have more of a collection when it comes to basketball shoes. But with all that being said, thanks for checking out this video, and if you guys have missed my unboxing of the sneaker, make sure to go check out the video before this. And yeah, these are the Sabrina 2s, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.